Hello, I'm JD from Vertitech Reviews, and this is a Fender Squire. I actually bought this guitar a long while back, and I can say that this thing is fantastic. It served me very well. The neck's not bent or anything over time, and honestly, it's just an all-around, really well-rounded guitar. To be quite truthful with you, it's one of my favorites that I've ever played, probably because I know it the most well. I actually really learned how to play guitar with this guitar mainly, and I really am attached to it, and so this review is kind of biased in that manner, but other than that, it will be informative. Now, we're going to go over some features before I play it. You've got your standard 6 tuning pegs, non-locking. They work really well. They don't come out of tune extremely easily. Kind of easily if you go into lower tones like drop D, drop C, and such. That's with any guitar really, besides with the locking bridge. A standard little nut here, no big deal. The fretboard, I'm not sure. I think this is rosewood. I don't know. To me, it doesn't matter. Unless the damn thing's made out of concrete, I'll play it. It's fine. The body, really nice finish here. It's a dark metallic red. I don't know what Fender calls it, but I really like it. And it's straight up white fretboard. We got a single humbucker back here, 3 knobs, volume, and 2 for tone. One's treble, one's bass. Everybody knows that. And your 5-position selector switch and 1/4-inch jack. It also does have a spot for a strap, but I don't have a strap on it right now. Just don't ask why, I don't know. Straight up, probably one of the best guitars that you could possibly get as a beginner, because it will last you forever and ever and ever, unless you do something completely horribly stupid with it. And that pretty much goes to say the same for anything else. Like if you were going to do something completely horribly stupid with, I don't know, a truck. If you're going to drive a truck off a cliff, it's probably not going to survive. There are exceptions to this, and depends on how tall the cliff is, but in any manner, you don't try to hurt your guitar. The guitar is meant for playing, not for doing the Who thing where you go and smash it. So, I have slinkies on here, super slinkies actually, and I'm really surprised. Over here on the ground I've got my little tiny Smart 3 Silvertone. It's a 15-watt amp that I just use for practicing around the house. No, nothing really special about it. But if you just listen, it's like the chords that you can squeeze out of this thing, they're absolutely fantastic. Now I remind you, these are slinkies. Yeah, I mean, I'm not using a pick. No, I tend not to, but as my fingernail, it sounds almost like a pick. Now if you like smooth tones, this is just, it's peaceful. And it's like, you want to get the whole, Raschiato thing going in there. It sounds great, and honestly this thing's got a pretty wide variety of tones. I'm in the rhythm selection on the selector switch right now, if you can kind of see that. I'll switch one towards lead, so this is 4th position, if you want to count it as that. If you're wondering why I'm playing these odd chords, it's because it's a really good way to test things. Oh, there are some chords that you use in jazz that you don't want to use, like, diminished chords and such. We're going to go in the middle position here. You're starting to get a little bit more of that treble thing, that tweed bass. Sorry, the bass sound. That's wrong. That British sound is what I'm looking for. That's the word. If you go one more towards lead, hear that? getting more there, and now we're gonna go to lead, and it's gonna add a bit of gain. Let's get a little bit louder. And honestly, the selector switch works really well. It's guitars like these with the tone knobs. A lot of people complain about these. I really don't use them. I don't tweak the tone with my guitar unless I'm tweaking it with my technique. And I know you're gonna say, well, you can't do that because if you just tweak with your technique, it's not always gonna work. Yes, I understand that, but the more I refine my technique, the more I'm universal and I can use more than one guitar. That's the purpose. Now this guitar is absolutely excellent in the manner that it does what the original Stratocaster was supposed to do. The Stratocaster was supposed to be cheaper and more functional than, say, a Les Paul. And you're gonna slap me across the face because, yes, Les Pauls are amazing. I know. I've played the studio editions that cost over $5,000. I know. Gold tuning pegs and all. Yes. But for beginners, you don't want $5,000 worth guitar because you don't want to break it. And if you aren't going to really get into guitar, you don't want to put that much money into it. So when you want to get something that works, and when you want to get something that you can learn how to play guitar on, and you can really just do a lot of different things. I've used this in jazz, punk, metal. I mean, it's not supreme for metal, I will say that right off. It's not a 7-string, and it doesn't do extremely well in low tunings. But, you know, part of that's my technique too, I will admit. Also, if you just want a guitar that can do a lot of things, it's a multi-purpose guitar. It's not limiting you to any one genre, really. You can play country if you want. You could play rock. You could play jazz. You could play funk. Yeah, you could play funk. You could play... there's so many genres out there that you could play with this guitar. And the whole thing is that you can play them. Is that you will learn how to play them on a guitar like this, because you'll want to learn how to do different things. And when you've got this guitar, it's extremely high gain and it doesn't sound good with chords at all, ever, then you don't want to learn things, you know, like... Yeah, I did just mess up there. There it is. You know, and if you don't recognize that, that's Moondance by Van Morrison. You know, and everybody knows, like, Smoke on the Water and Iron Man and stuff. I'm not going to play those for you because that's annoying. And honestly, if you're going to play those on a guitar, you just, like, you might as well buy a trumpet because you could do it better on a trumpet, to be honest with you. But if you want to play, like, anything even remotely flamenco, you know... You know, I'm like... And that's like, I'm really playing kind of simple stuff for you, and the reason for that is like, I want you to hear the tone of the guitar. I want you to hear how you can caress it and you can really get into it. And it's like, if you look at the back of this, you can understand this thing is comfortable. You get relaxed. You can turn off all the lights in the room, just you and the guitar, and then you're one with it. You are yourself. You can express yourself. It's just amazing. And there are a lot of guitars out there like that, and this one, honestly, is a really great choice. If you're a beginner, excellent choice. If you are, however, like you already know what kind of genre you want to play, and you already have some skills. You know how to play guitar to an extent of some sort. Then there are other guitars out there, but this still is a choice. It really, really is. And the reason I say that is, like, look at Fenders. Fenders have been everywhere. Like Stevie Ray Vaughan. Imagine how long he used that guitar to get the finish to look like that. That was crazy. And that was not one of those guitars where they just ran it over with a grinder and said, oh, now it looks like it's from 60 years ago or something. No, he used that guitar, okay? And he refused to put it down, and it was just amazing. And then when you really look at it in guitars, I'm trying not to give you a lecture here. When you really, really look at guitars, it's all about the person playing them. And what you want as a guitarist, as myself, what you want as a guitarist, is a guitar that you can make sound like you. It would sound like your personal sound. It's like your style is how the guitar sounds, and that's really, really what this thing does. It is really, really well built, solid. I can't count the number of times that this sucker has fallen over off of a stand or something, and it still plays like a dream. And there's only like 2 scratches in the paint after who knows how long I've had this. Probably, let's see, I got this a little over 2 years back. More like 2 years, 8 months. I've had this for a while, and I've played it and played it and played it, and I'm really, really, really enjoying it. And I think that if you got one, you would too. So go check it out. Go check out Fender.com, Musician's Friend, someplace like that, and get yourself something. If you want to play, you gotta play. So this is JD from Vertitech Reviews saying, never give up on your music, and find yourself something that suits you. This might be it.